Hello, my friends. How are you today? I am doing awesome. I'm having such a great day. And something that happened today kind of triggered me to want to do a review on one of my favorite all-time musicals, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
You've seen all kinds of movies, but you've never seen anything like the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
This is my favorite musical. I cannot think of another musical that I would rather see live performed than this musical. I wish that they would perform this musical every year at our local school. I remember back in the day, I would go see this up at a college a little further away, and first time ever seeing it live blew my mind. Now, it was one of these limited, you can't really, you can't bring in the toilet paper, you can't throw the rice. You know, we want you to just enjoy the show, you know, movie playing in the background and actors in front and everything. And it was still enjoyable. But then we stepped up our game and we found the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Criterion Theater. And it has been our go-to place every single year. The RKO Army puts it on, and it is a family event, and I absolutely love it. It's my Disneyland. I'm saying it right now. I cannot think of another place I would rather be than at the Criterion Theater on Halloween watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I absolutely love it. I mean, I can't get sick of it. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Every range of emotion, anxiety goes on during this play, and it only gets better and better and better throughout the years. I mean, you're still not supposed to bring in the bread and the rice and all the other stuff, but people bring it in, and we just laugh. As a family, we gather together. The ones that don't live here, the ones that live here, we gather together. And they might not find it as exciting, as enjoyable as I do, and as uncomfortable. I know some will find it uncomfortable, but it is a family event. It is something that if you have not ever seen the live RKO Army Rocky Horror Picture Show, you have to go see it. It is, like I said, it's my Universal Studios. It's my Disneyland. It brings me joy. There's nothing else that brings me joy at a certain point of the year as going to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Criterion Theater. And they do an absolute, RKO Army do an absolute awesome job. Sometimes the Rocky character is male, sometimes it's female, sometimes the Frankenfurt is a male, sometimes it doesn't even matter because the play is amazing. It's the way that they do it. It's the show they put on, the props, the gags, even the opening sequences. They do this awesome thing that they either use Repo Man or they use Michael Jackson's Thriller, and they'll put on a pre-show for you that is mind-blowing. So that thought today triggered this awesome collection of Rocky Horror Picture Show movies that I have accumulated throughout the years. And I'm on the hunt for one more, and I will get into that as I show it. So, it all started back in the day, and I don't have it here right now because I have that one put away, was with the Rocky Horror Picture Show VHS. And why do I remember this Rocky Horror Picture Show VHS so well? Because there was a store called Apex back in the day. I don't know if you remember Apex, but there was a store called Apex, and it was in the mall close to my house or whatever. And we would go there, visit all the time because they had the Nintendos and they had the Segas. And up at the counter was this copy. My eyes were just drawn to it, of the Rocky Horror Picture Show VHS. But it wasn't just drawn to it because of the cover art of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it was drawn to it because of the price. The original price of the VHS for Rocky Horror Picture Show, I think it's because VHS prices were so crazy, was over $100. And every time I would go in there, I would ask my father, what's this? And my father never acknowledged that if he ever saw this movie or didn't see this movie. I don't know if it was one of these, maybe he saw it, was embarrassed to say that he saw it, or he didn't know anything about it, but over $100 for a VHS tape. I'd never seen that before. And then we went into our local Blockbuster Video. And on the counter of Blockbuster Video, there was this copy of Rocky Horror Picture Show. And everybody was, people were lining up to rent the copy of Rocky Horror Picture Show. But my father would not let me watch it. He would not rent it. He didn't want nothing to do with it. I didn't understand. I didn't understand the reasoning behind it. Then I got older, and I finally bought a copy of the VHS of Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I put it on, and I was in absolute awe. Let's do the time warp again. I mean, You know, I don't. You know, sometimes I look up how to spell that. When I try to write down, I'm an R, and it's AWW or AWAH or AWH, whatever. This movie was like, I've never seen anything like it before in my life.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show is wonderfully weird.
I didn't know what to make of it. Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? Was it clean? Was it dirty? Was it right? Was it wrong? I don't even know, but it was just enjoyable. Maybe you don't have to think so much into it as much of just sit down and enjoy the movie. Maybe people think too much into things. That's what the problem is people too much judgment out there, people too much attacking things, too much trying to take things away from people. Just enjoy for what it is. I mean, it's a goof. But the music, oh man, I love it. I absolutely love the music of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And maybe it's embarrassing to be cruising around the street with the sweet transvestite blasting in your car, but gosh darn it, I do sometimes. You know, I just feel like I feel the need to listen to this stuff and sing along. You know, because they're catchy and they're good songs. And Tim Curry he's amazing.
Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab.
He's absolutely amazing. He is one of the most underrated actors I can ever think of. That guy, there should be plaques and pedestals and posters and statues of him somewhere in this world, because the man is amazing. There's nothing he can't play. He's awesome. I mean, he's getting older. Things have gone wrong. I know he's had a stroke. I mean, he's awesome. I gotta give the guy credit where credit is due. Everything he's done has been beautiful. So let me start. So the VHS tape I got downstairs. I'm not gonna dig it back up, but I'll put a picture somewhere over here of the original VHS tape that I have in my basement somewhere, and the one that I had seen over and over and over again that my father did not want to acknowledge, like I was looking at some kind of like dirty object in this world that I don't, you know, don't ask me about that. But eventually, when he got it cheap, he picked up a copy. Still wouldn't let me watch it. Don't know why. So maybe my father was a closet Rocky Horror Picture Show fan, but I don't know why you gotta hide to watch a movie like Rocky Horror Picture Show, because I'm proud to say that this is my favorite musical. I love the music of Rocky Horror Picture Show. So this one is from Circuit City, and this was the first ever DVD copy of Rocky Horror Picture Show that I picked up. And this thing is jam-packed with extras. And what I love about the extras is they actually show almost a whole live showing of Rocky Horror Picture Show, the live show. You know what I mean? And it's really cool. And it's got like, it has sing-along. You know, you can sing along with the movie. They actually put the sing-along on the thing. It has Easter eggs built into there was so much going on with this DVD. I was for weeks, it kept me occupied, just searching and looking and trying to find different things about this movie. And it was all here in this one little bundle thing, which I did, you know, I've opened it because I've watched it numerous times. And you get Frankenfurter over there, Riff Raff on the back, which I have to say, Riff Raff's my absolute favorite. 2 discs. This was, and it's still in beautiful condition, even though I've watched this thing time and time again. And so I got the DVD, and I was satisfied with that. I watched it for years and years and years. Then I found out that there was a sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show. I had no idea that they had a sequel, but it's not really a sequel. It has the same actors, similar actors, but it's missing the Frankenfurter character. It's missing Tim Curry. So it's lacking, very much so. And this was the only way that I was able to get this, is in this double pack of the Rocky Horror Picture Show and Shock Treatment. Shock Treatment being the supposedly sequel to Rocky Horror Picture Show, but really having nothing to do with Rocky Horror Picture Show itself. Has to do with a game show. I didn't find it to be very enjoyable. I found it to be very I was kind of bored with it, you know. As I was expecting, maybe because you're expecting a Rocky Horror Picture Show, and what you get is a lower version. The songs just weren't catchy enough. They weren't. I mean, there's no Meatloaf. You know, Meatloaf was in Rocky Horror Picture Show. He was awesome. I mean, there's no Meatloaf. You know, there's no. May I say there's no meat and potatoes in Shock Treatment. I could use the Meatloaf pun there, but I had to get it because it is also part of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I want to say franchise. Is this open? Yes, it is open. Legacy. I'll say Legacy. But then you get the single disc over here on DVD, and then you get the other disc over there, and then you get a booklet inside here, and you get a little bit, and it has pretty much the same stuff in the original DVD as you get in this one. This one's a 3-disc set, so you get the 2 discs just like the other one, and then you get the single disc of Shock Treatment. But I had to get that on DVD, and Shock Treatment has not been available yet on Blu-ray in the US. There is a Shock Treatment Blu-ray coming from another country. It's a Region B. I don't have a Region B player, but I will buy it on Blu-ray because I love the whole Rocky Horror Picture Show. Oh no, I'm getting a call. Hang on. And I'm back. Okay. My job is never done. I always have to deal with whatever I'm dealing with there. That was actually a good call. Happy she got a babysitting job, but okay. Anyway, so we have the DVDs of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Then I ended up picking up this lovely little trinket here, and this is the Rocky Horror Picture Show gift set. Yes, it is filled with extra goodies. In here, you get the CD soundtrack. You get a participation guide. You get a potty blower, rubber gloves, squirt gun, confetti, and you get the Rocky Horror Picture Show and Shock Treatment movie. Once again, it's the same exact thing as this, except you get props and the soundtrack. I already own the soundtrack. I have the box set of the soundtrack. I have the complete box set, international, American of the soundtrack twice, because one of my things got a little scratch on it, and I just couldn't have that. And but this comes with the soundtrack. But there is another box set, the Elusive Lips box set, that I have been trying to find, and it comes with the soundtrack to Shock Treatment. I also own the copy of the soundtrack from Shock Treatment, which oddly enough, the soundtrack to Shock Treatment is more difficult to get than the soundtrack to Rocky Horror Picture Show. But I guess that's because people are more fans of the Rocky Horror Picture Show than of Shock Treatment. But I had to get this little kit thing because it's limited and it's pretty cool. But it is the same exact thing. Same 3 movies, same 3 discs, same 2 movies in these sets. But it's also in DVD. Then, ooh, they gifted me. They started releasing it on Blu-ray. And the first one I ended up getting was this awesome digibook. That's correct. Digibook of the Rocky Horror Picture Show 35th anniversary, and it had even more special features in it, with more live action stuff, more interviews, more things going on, and it's Blu-ray. It's beautiful Blu-ray, sound quality awesome, picture quality awesome, and one of my it's like one of my favorite Blu-rays. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. So. But the only issue I have with it is a digibook, and the digibook is made out of cardboard. And taking it, this is a plastic sleeve which I purchased, taking it in and out of the cover, and it also has the little leaf. Is it L card? L card? I think that's right. L card. I kept the original L card on it. J card. J, not L. Why did I get L? J. J card. It has the original J card on the back, and I did not want to lose that, because if you take the back, there's a beautiful picture of Frankenfurter on the back, but the J card gives you all the information, and I like to have all the information. I like to keep everything complete, so I didn't like taking this in and out in order to watch the movie. So I went with, okay, hold on a second. So we're at the 35th anniversary. Then they released the 40th anniversary. Now I have opened this up, but this was also not my go-to Blu-ray of Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is the 40th anniversary Absolute Pleasure Blu-ray, and this comes with a limited edition set including collectible fishnet stockings, gloves, and the movie soundtrack. So you get the CD soundtrack on here once again, which if I didn't have it already, I got it for the fifth time in this box set. And then you get the 40th anniversary edition of the Blu-ray, which is pretty much the same thing as the 35th anniversary edition of the Blu-ray, except with a different cover. But it's Rocky Horror Picture Show. So you can't have enough of these things, okay? So we go 35, and then 4 years, wow, I can't count. 5 years later, we got the 40th. But I'm still going, because later on, 5 years later, we got the 45th anniversary edition. Does this have extra stuff in it? No, it's the same exact thing as these, except in a different cover. And it's the same exact thing as these, pretty much, with a couple extra bonus features and better picture quality. But it's one of the greatest horror movies / musicals of all time, so you have to have it. But then, Best Buy went out of their way to release a steelbook. And like I said in the past, I am not a fan of steelbooks because they get scratched and they get messed up. But look how beautiful that is. This is just a beautiful steelbook. And this is, does it say it's a 45th? This is a 45th anniversary. So this is the same thing. 45th. So this is the same thing as this. So, the way this works, this has never been opened. I've seen it open before. I know what it looks like inside. I don't need to see it. But collectible, I put it on my shelf. It looks beautiful. It doesn't get scratched up because it's still in the plastic. Doesn't get banged up because it just sits there. It doesn't move. This is my go-to Rocky Horror Picture Show Blu-ray. This is the one I watch. And I am hoping and praying that Rocky Horror Picture Show gets a 4K transfer eventually, because it was set on film, and it is probably going to be absolutely amazing. Now, if you have not seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show, how can I summarize the movie for you?
So give yourself over to absolute pleasure.
It is about these aliens that come from transsexual Transylvania.
Transsexual Transylvania.
And they are, to describe, you know what, the funny thing about Rocky Horror Picture Show, it is very difficult to describe. This couple is about to get married, and they show up at this haunted house, haunted by these aliens from another planet, and you don't know if Frankfurter is a man or a woman, or, I mean, you know he's a man, but it's like he's interested in men, and he's you know, he goes both ways, and he's got this strange presence about him. But I'll tell you right now, the Rocky Horror character, the Frankfurter character, Tim Curry plays. Your eyes are glued to the screen. I mean, this guy he's totally charismatic. Tim Curry does an absolute awesome job. And I'll tell you right now, it's one of these movies where you just gotta throw like your whole thought process of anything, all your judgment, all your garbage, just throw it out the door and go enjoy the play and go enjoy the movie. Because I'll tell you right now, it is enjoyable. So he wants to create this perfect man, and he creates one man, which ends up being Meatloaf character, and one of his servants falls in love with him, and but he's not perfect. He's kind of like a Frankenstein type situation. But then he invents this other guy, same setup as like Frankenstein, and this is like the perfect guy. But then unfortunately, you know, the perfect guy he's not really going for the Frankenfurter character. He's going for like another character. But then it's a little confusing. But I'll tell you right now, the music, the vision, the sound, the sight, the smell. I mean, this movie's got everything going for it. I mean, and then for some reason, this is just me. I get to the end of this movie, and I am so overwhelmed with emotion for the Frankenfurter character. I mean, his people turn on him because of the way that he is. I mean, he's like very controlling and very, you know, things have to be a certain way. But his people turn on him at the end. I'm not really giving anything away. And you feel bad for him. And he's got this last final 2 songs right before the movie ends. And if you've never seen the movie before and you just heard Tim Curry singing these 2 songs at the end, you would have an emotional feeling.
And I realize I'm going home.
it's a strange thing. I mean, it's like you watch this movie, it's totally enjoyable. You're enjoying the stuff, watching the character. Okay, once again, let me do my disclaimer. It's not a kids movie. It is totally not a kids movie. There is a scene in the movie that is very graphic. The storyline and what it's dealing with, and the whole transvestite, and you know, it's definitely not a children's movie, but you watch it, man, and at the end of the movie, you stop and you look back at your hour and a half or whatever that the length is, and you're like, wow, what did I just see, and what have I just gone through? And if you see the live play with the movie in the background, with the live action stuff going in front, but you know, it's not just that. It's the people around you. People are drawn to this movie, and they dress up. They dress up like the characters. They mimic the characters. You interact with the. I mean, a lot of these Blu-rays have the interaction things built in, so you can actually, it tells you when to throw something, or when you're supposed to talk, or when you're supposed to scream, or what you're supposed to say. But some people make up things, and this is what I find most enjoyable when going to see the live stuff. Is the people on the side of you and behind you, in front of you, they come up with the most crazy, hilarious things, and you laugh and you have a good time. You might get. We went to one of them last year, I want to say, and one of my daughters, or my wife, one of them got hit in the head with a piece of toast, and it was hilarious. I mean, toilet paper flying through the air. I mean, it's like it's time to throw it, and it was rice getting hit with the back of the head with rice, or you're holding a newspaper over your head because it's raining. It's an interactive experience that if you have an older family, if your kids are 16 plus, I would say 16 plus, even though it's a rated R movie, and it's not for kids. You know, it's not a kids movie. But I've been taking my kids, I'm pretty sure, since they were like 16. You know, it's one of those parental guidance type situation things. And granted, the first time we saw it, I saw it with my son. My son was really young, and he was kind of confused. He was really kind of confused, and I don't blame him. I mean, he was kind of young to see it. But that was my judgment call, and maybe I'm not perfect. I make some bad calls or whatever. But now that he's older and understands a little bit more, it's enjoyable. It is fun. I mean, it's like I said, it's if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's easy enough to get. They got them everywhere. It's Walmart, FYE, Amazon. I'm kind of going slow because I'm trying to think of that one that's up in the thing. Best Buy. There you go. Best Buy, eBay. You can get a copy of this. If you haven't seen, I have multiple copies because they're so easy to get. The only one I have not gotten is that Lips one, which is a B, region B. But I want to get it just because of the way it looks. You have to see it. You have to see it. Don't watch it with your kids. Once again, disclaimer: don't watch it with your kids at first. You watch it first. You take it in and see how you feel. You know, when this is all done. You could be, you might be like one of these really prudish people and be like, this is not the movie for me. I don't even know what you're talking about. But me, I looked at it at like, this movie's a work of art. This is the go-to musical. I mean, if you want to go to see a musical, forget about, you know, what was it, Hamlet? Am I saying not Hamlet? What's that one that they just came out with? That everybody went to go see. Is it Hamlet? It might be Hamlet. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not a musical guy, you know, but I've seen musicals before. My kids have been in musicals before, and if any of my kids ever got a part in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I would embrace that 110% because it is such a blast. I mean, it's a roller coaster ride of fun. I mean, like I said, you're of age and you got a chance to go see this at Halloween time. Find where the RKO Army is playing this film and go see it. Don't watch it on YouTube because it does not give it justice. I've come home from going to see it and I'm like, I'm gonna check YouTube for Rocky Horror Picture Show live and I'm gonna watch it. But if you're not sitting there in the theater and going through the experience, it's not the same. This movie is just amazing. And I'll tell you right now, is it Tim O'Brien? I want to say Tim O'Brien. And I want to make sure I get that right because he's the guy that put this thing together. And, of course, the one I grab is not going to say... Okay, let me see. and I do this to you guys all the time. Richard O'Brien. I'm sorry, Richard. Why do I have Tim O'Brien? Tim Curry. Richard O'Brien. He's I think the writer or director or whatever, and he plays riff raff in this. And the first song that he kind of solos in, he's in the castle, and there's like a light shimmering like in the background of him, and then all of a sudden it gets bright, and his voice.
Darkness must go down the river of night streaming.
Mind blowing. I'll tell you, absolute beautiful. I don't know. Like I said, I look at movies as memories and art. Okay, somebody took their time to paint this picture, and I just want to look at it. I want to look at it, and I want to absorb it, and I want to live it, be in it, feel it. It is just a great, great movie. And if you are a musical fan, if you are a fan of musical movies, if you are a fan of movies like Grease, or a fan of movies like what's the other one that's the big one nowadays? Well, I wouldn't say so. But I put Rock of Ages up there. It's a musical, but I would say I would deter from Grease. I would say it's more of a Grease-ish type thing there. What's the other one that's like really big that I just watched recently that was actually really good? Oh, Greatest Showman type thing. I put it around that kind of group. Great, great, great musical movie. And if you, after you're done seeing it, you just, like I said, take it piece by piece and watch it like for the individuality of the actors. Okay, they do such a great job. And when you make it to the end and you see that final two songs with Tim Curry, and mostly there's one when he's laying in the pool, and I don't want to give it away, and it has Don't Live It, Dream It.
Don't dream it. Be it. Don't dream it. Be it.
And then there's another one when he's kind of pleading his case. Mind blowing. I mean, I am absolutely in awe, of the ending of this movie, and I had to talk about it because it's my favorite musical. Absolutely, hands down, my favorite musical. I cannot think of another musical that I would not want to see besides this musical. I mean, this is my go-to musical. This is the one I want to see.
See the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I would watch this every year for the rest of my life to the day I die and be a very happy person. So, if you have not seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show, there is many, many different kinds of versions of this movie for you to pick up. So I'm sure you can find a copy somewhere and watch it. And with that said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you later.